Hello, good evening, Twin Minds here. We are finally returning to Kerbal Space Program. I'm so excited. So I have done a lot of work to clean up the pack. Still a lot of mods, for sure. But the big pain point was the quantity of new parts that were added from some of those mods that I kicked out. It was kind of a snowball effect of new mods added new features, which then needed to be retroactively added to each new part, and then new part mod needed all of those new features, and they just all kind of combined together to destroy my game. It worked. It was fun while it lasted. 250-ish mods. I don't even remember anymore. But I have spared down the list to things that were really nifty or almost mandatory for some of the additions that I had, like USI, for example, with life support. I have a couple part mods in there that add more usability to life support, etc. And I've decided to adjust some of the settings as well, which is what we're going to do now, because I'm going to start an entirely new game. Let's do that. Oops. Twin Tech Industries. We are going with full career mode and a new flag. I've put a lot of thought into this, and I kind of like the glowing kraken. I will probably change it a few times, just in case. But I'm going with the glowing kraken because that guy. And there were possibly some difficulty options I wanted to fiddle with. Com network is on by default. Yeah, I don't want to go with part pressure limits or G-force limits because I don't really like random mass explosions. I mean, I do, but I don't like random mass explosions when I'm attempting to do things usefully. Hey, Javatar, how you doing? Hey, Watermelon. Welcome, welcome. So, I think all these settings will be just fine. Now these ComNet options don't matter because I do still have remote tech, so that's fine. All of these additional options I don't care about, I can do those later. Alright, so, a new game. It has indeed been a long time. My Kerbal game broke previously. To the point where none of my ships were flyable. And I just kind of had to call that a loss at that point. I tried really hard to fix it, but everything I did to fix it ended up removing almost every ship I had ever launched, and it was not really worth keeping. So, let's use Blizzies on this one. That one's fine. Alright, so here's the remote tech options, and this is where I want to change it up just a hair. I wanted signal delay, no, because that's a really obnoxious feature. And I think I wanted root. Nah, I won't do root. I'll do a multiple antenna modifier though. So stock game, if you have multiple antennas, they are specifically Omni antennas. Multiple of them will increase the range. And some of the Omni antennas are pretty lacking in range. And having to do targeted dish all of the time was kind of obnoxious. So, nice. Congratulations, Watermelon. Yeah, I can only assume that that's difficult. I have not tried it myself. I don't care to replicate any pre-existing missions in any sense, so I won't be attempting to do Falcon Heavy or anything like that. And this one I wanted to turn off. No connection needed to control antennas. Because it's really, really obnoxious having to reset an entire mission just because you forgot to right-click and activate an antenna. So this allows you to activate the antennas in case I'm dumb, which I will be, and I will forget. So that's on. And then USI settings. I wanted to turn off habitation. Now, I'm going to be trying to do habitation anyway. However, habitation in this in USI settings is very painful. It really truly is. Because most habitation leaves you with no more than a year or two until your Kerbals decide that they just need to return home no matter what. And nothing you can do will change their mind on that. So you have to return them home and potentially swap out crew or anything like that. And while that's neat, in a realistic sense, it's not fun for gameplay, which I found out previously. So, Jalvator, yes. Too much science equipment can cause problems. I won't be looking at your video, and unfortunately I have links turned off, so we won't be able to post it here. But, yeah, feel free to stream that one sometime, or get a couple people on there. Alright, so supplies are good, electric requirement is good, EVA effect, we don't want them on EVA for too long, that's fine. But habitation definitely off. And I think I also wanted no effect for supply problems, specifically on my veterans, which is Jeb, Val, Bill, and Bob. And that's just for a little safety net. Because I'm dumb, and I will make mistakes. That's fine. Alright, all other settings that I come across will be... I'll play with them as I get there. I do need to adjust this. There's a lot of configuration. EL settings, science report and checklist, those two things, stage recovery and transfer window, just need the buttons available. Jalvator, there are possibilities for that. First off, try less science. I mean, I know that's stupid, but try less science, and on top of that, try going to different places on Kerbin. Kerbal? Kerbal's the sun, Kerbin's the planet, yes. Just try going to different biomes. There's a couple biomes near the launch center that you could just drive to with a science truck, basically, which is what I had done, just to get enough science to get that next fuel tank. Alright, missions. We have one to escape the atmosphere. That's probably doable next. Recover or transmit any science experiment data from Kerbin to achieve this goal. Any? Okay, that sounds like a good first mission. And launch our first vessel. That sounds like a good start mission as well. So, let's do those things. Obviously, we're going to have a very traditional starting vessel. One that I am not even going to bother saving. Got it, we're in Nirvana Kerbin. Alright, so we're going to do a pod. We're going to do a lovely little booster. We're going to... Now, this is from a mod. Now, what I had done... So, this is a FASA launch clamp. And FASA is another mod. It was also part of Blue Dog, because Blue Dog and FASA repeated a lot of the same stuff. And this is a recreation of one of the launch clamps from a different real-life mission, but I don't remember which one. But if you see at the very top there, it says Twin Tweaks over my mouse. So I collected a few of the parts from different mods and just jammed them together in my own little personal mod. I'm not going to publish it because I don't want to steal other people's works. But there was like 3 parts from a mod of like 500 parts that I wanted to keep. So instead of keeping all 500 parts, I just kept the ones I wanted, and that made it easier to slim down, and that's part of some of the work I'd been doing. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. Does or does not have mods? That sad song makes me think that it does not have mods. And that is something I know. I know it doesn't have mods. I know it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Alright, so we have some science to do. Now, I am going to throw on multiples of these because some of these experiments need to be done twice for them to actually be marked as complete. So we have our Mr. Goo, we have a cardboard box, which not only is a KISS storage device, which can hold a whole 25 liters. That's surprising, actually. But it also is a science experiment. And then we also have a Geiger counter. Now this is another one from Twin Tweaks mod that I retained from one of the other mods I ditched. Alright, and then, last but not least, a parachute, which is in here from Real Shoot. Luckily, that very large one can be shrunk down to a reasonable size. There. So, we have a regular old rocket with a whole bunch of crap strapped on the front, and we are going to launch that. I did not pick my crew, so I will be pleasantly surprised as to whether it's Val or Jeb in the seat. I think it's probably defaulted to Jeb, honestly. My music is entirely too chill right now. Yeah. I also have Chatterer, because I wanted a little bit of ambient noise. Alright, so first off on the launch pad, do some of our sciences here. Do 2 of the mystery goos from the launch pad, and I don't think we need all of these. Yeah, this is a full 100%. So we should only need 1 of each of these. Might need 2 of the Geiger counters. Yeah, looks like I need 2 of them. And then 2, actually I'm going to go this side to keep in line with the mystery goo that I already did. Okay. And then I will do a crew report from the ground first. And I'll transmit that one so I can do another one while I'm up there. That is not stopping. All right. I may disable that noise because that's obnoxiously long for what it actually accomplishes. All right, so we're good. We're going to 3, 2, 1, go. Whee! Might as well sass what I can there. All right, so we've accomplished a few things here. Make Jeb go away. Okay, so both of our missions are achieved. Oh, hello, Parzival. I love the name. I'm actually in the middle of reading that book right now. Assuming that that's where your name comes from. It's got the same spelling and everything. So, hello, welcome. All right, we're going to keep these. We're going to do these experiments. Observe the cardboard box. Welcome, Blade Bite. Welcome. I know I've been waiting for years too. It's taken obnoxiously long to get back to this point. I would suggest don't hit min-miss. Also, parachute's not going to do any good on min-miss, so you're going to have to use retro thrusters to land on min-miss without smashing. Alright, so we are successfully coming back down with parachutes and science in place. That's right, I need to do this crew report as well. Done. Oh, not enough electric charge. So, we're keeping that science experiment. Because I'm out of charge. Alright. I know the sky is gorgeous. No, this is really a pretty mod. It makes the sky gorgeous. It adds clouds. Doesn't do too many favors to the ground, but it still does enhance the textures a little bit. And the water does look amazing. You can't see it from here, it just looks blue. But you can almost see the ripples starting to form. Because they're really small ripples, so they can't really see them from a distance. But it is very pretty. And sunrise and sunset, whew, those are gorgeous. So, Parzival, have you actually read the book? Or are you just a poser and you've actually only watched the movie? Because only seriously, I haven't watched the movie yet and I'm really excited for it. Even though I know it's probably not going to be nearly as good as the movie, I'm still excited for it. Javator, are you talking about your thing that's going to min-miss? I'm assuming you have at least some sort of engine on that thing. Hopefully. Because without an engine, that just causes problems. Hard to land when you don't have something to land with. Pardon me. I have to go cause a problem on someone else's area here. Kerbal Space Twins! Howdy, Arcellus, how are you doing? Parzival, that's just the way. I mean, they could have made it a 3-part and been very, very true to the original book, but it's almost impossible to do that, honestly. So, I mean, I get it when movies are not perfect and true to the book, but they had better at least do a good job with what they've cut out. And that I don't know if they did or not. And very gentle touchdown, and we're good to go. Recover! I am enjoying being back in Kerbal. So one of my big goals with cutting down the number of mods was cutting down the load time. So I've got the load time down to about 5 minutes. So now if I crash in the middle of the stream, it's not the end of the world to start over again while the stream is still going. That was one of my biggest goals, actually. So we got 44 science and we got 100,000 bucks. And Jeb has gained a little bit of experience. Alright, so we're going to go first, research and develop. And we need basic rocketry. And we need engineering 101, which gives us more sciencey experiments. And as per my usual, I will up this survivability, which also includes a lot more science experiments, all that fun stuff. 19 left, which is not enough to go this route, so... Oh, that's a 20. I have 19.9, and I need 20 for this general rocketry. Boo. Boo earns. Nose cap, ringlet, radial decoupler. Kind of do need that radial decoupler, so we'll go with it. Alright. So, now we need to check our missions and see what else there is to do. So we need to escape the atmosphere and orbit. I'm not entirely sure I have the means to orbit just yet. Grasslands, highlands, southern ice shelf. So a lot of these ones I'm not going to do because they require me going places that I just don't want to do. Mountains, deserts, water, no. So this one I could do. Cardboard box, mystery goo, Geiger counter, all at KSC's mission control, crawler way, etc. So those, probably doable. Won't come home? Well, then you have to send a rescue. It's necessary. Alright, part testing. Alright, let's test the solid fuel booster at the launch site, perhaps. Doesn't really matter which one we test, we'll be testing one of them. Everything appears to be going well. That button, any good? No, okay. Alright. So we are testing the hammer, it is. So let's do that. And I'm curious what type of power I can get out of this thing with a handful of hammers. That's a lot of power. That's 2800 Delta V as it is right now. I could probably orbit if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna. In fact, I don't even really need to do this. I'm going to do a quick launch as it is and just do a quick test just to get that mission done. Yeah, do whatever you gotta do. Get those Kerbals home, man. Don't want to leave them stranded. We are going to run test. Just go quick pop. Nothing else. Nothing else. Alright. No science yet, but that's okay. I will do another part testing, I think. Nah, let's not do that yet. So what I want to do now is see if I can... let's see. I think this one would be better. Alright, I'm going to remove that. So the mission is experiments around KSC. It just says location KSC, and if I remember right, that location's actually surprisingly difficult to find. Because it's like somewhere in between some of the buildings, but we'll see. Crawlerway, mission control. Okay. So, I'm going to do a service bay and put the stuff inside, so it doesn't get smashied when I go rolling around. Alright, so I'm going to do this. Alright, so I need 2 mystery goos, cardboard box, and a Geiger counter. Okay, that'll do. I will also take this and put that inside. There we go. Just to have that connection if needed. Which Soviet 8 booster rocket you talk about? I happen not to have that I'm aware of. Or at least sure as hell not anything called that. Okay. I don't think I have anything else wheel-wise. I think I only have those landing legs. So let's see if we can roll. Let's see about rolling. Missions to find a spoon. But I've never seen a spoon on Kerbin. Alright, this is gonna be silly, but let's see if we can roll. Okay, rolling. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun to control. Whee! Okay, so the ability to roll is sketchy at best. I think I need to meet some wheels. Okay, let's return to that thought later. Instead, what I will do is I will do another launch with all the new science experiments that I got, which should be enough to get me stuff. Okay, now we open this. I do need two of those. I only need... I know I need a lot, because I have that many science experiments. So I'm going to grab another payload. So we've got a sample box, and we've got barometer. I could probably do this all in one, but it's easier just to have all the stuffs right here. And a microwave oven. I think that's all of it. Okay. So let's strap on an engine slightly bigger than before, but that's okay. A little bit of aerodynamics. Let's go with this one. I like this one better. A little bit fancier. Anything else we need? Suppose energy would be kind of nice, but nah, we don't need anything else. Just the experiments. Okay. So if we open, the open all base doesn't work. Oh well, that might be a mod that I have to remove then. Alright. So, if I perform all science here, I will keep all of these. And then those are things that I could potentially... Man, I wish I had a science box. I wish I had a science box. I'm going to recover that and launch it again so I can go up in the air with a fresh set of experiments. Because why not? In fact, I may have gotten enough science from that to get yet another batch of science experiments, so maybe we'll try that. We'll see. 13. No, that is not enough to do anything. Okie dokie. And I don't have enough cash to upgrade much of anything useful, so let us do Launchpad, grab that same ship, and just relaunch it from here. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh shit. Whoops. I mean, it's not entirely a problem because I'm still technically up in the air, so. I should check my staging. Okay, we're done. Alright. Open. Open? Perform all science. Give me all of the things. I may have failed the mission, but it's still successful. Hello, Iraq Lobster. How are you doing? Or I guess I should pronounce it the correct way. Iraq Lobster. Rock Lobster! Okay, I'm done. Alright, so we did all the sciencey things. I did forget to do one thing. I forgot to do the, whatchamacallit. EVA. That's what I was looking for. So we're gonna fast forward down to the bottom, do a quick EVA before we recall this time. Fast forward to the bottom. And then do I need to do another crew report? No. Okay. What I'll do is I will EVA. I will take the data, because that's one way that you can kind of jank it a little bit. I will perform the science, and I will board again, which then allows me to do another crew report. No, I thought the graphs around here would count as a separate crew report, but that's okay. I'll keep it anyway. And then we're going to recover. I know that was sexy spinning, and it was sexy spinning that did not result in my death, so the best kind of spinning. Now we'll see how much science we got. 41! 41's pretty good. So 41 should get me to here. Hey, thank you for that follow, Rock Lobster. I appreciate that. It's a basic science on here. It's not enough. 45 is what I need. Well, balls. Okay. Which one is going to get me wheels? This one's technically going to get me wheels. They're not going to be good wheels, but they will be tolerable, I suppose. I'm just trying to see how much more science I need to get wheels so I can then roll a little bit around the KSC. Okay. Okay. We're going to try this a different tactic, because I don't really feel like trying to roll around the KSC on my command pod. So instead, we're going to go up. Because up is an option. That can go away. I do not need heat shield for this re-entry, so we'll be fine there. Open. I think we can consolidate some of this. Come on. Come on. Alright, microwave can go right here. There. We consolidated it into a single trunk. Science trunk. Okay, so next thing is to get this thing airborne. So we need some tanks. Seven. Let's go with 8. I like 8. That's a better number. So if we do this, that gives us for 1900 delta V. So let's do some coupling. Let's do, I can't do fuel, I can't do asparagus anything yet, so let's just go this route for now. That's 3100, so that's close-ish. Okay, and looking at the thrust to weight ratio, I could definitely use more fuel. Let's do more fuel. Also, I should look at my part limits. Oh, I've got plenty of part limits right now. Come on. There we go. Oh, I don't have plenty of part limits. I'm 7 over right now. I don't like that. Okay. I don't really like being 7 over my part limit. And I don't have enough cash to buy more part limits. Let's cut this in half. Come on, give me. There we go. Okay, so if we cut that in half, that removes 4 parts, so I only have 3 more to go. And I'm curious if I have enough fuel by removing 3 tanks. If I go this route, I've got 2,900 Delta V out the gate, but not really. Down to about 3,500 Delta V. So one way around that is to potentially... I could remove a couple of these duplicates. So if I'm doing this route... and do this route... down to 27 parts. So if I get those 3 tanks back, let's see where our Delta V is at. So our Delta V now is at 3,200, but once you get high enough up to 4,000, so potentially just barely enough to orbit, which would be really nice. I'm going to save that quick, and I'm going to exit out and grab that orbit requirement mission and see if we can do that. Orbit Kerbin. Oh, that's right. I have this one. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to grab these 2 missions for breaking the atmosphere and orbiting Kerbin. And those are 2 that I can complete. Hopefully. So now we go to this one with Jeb. No, I can't launch that yet because I need to add on the clamp. The clamp! Oh, does the clamp make it too many parts? Does the clamp count as a part? Oops. The clamp counts as a frackin' part. Okay. So... I think I know which part I want to remove. I want to remove the antenna, because the antenna is essentially worthless. Because I don't need to transmit anything. And as long as I got good old Jeb in the cockpit, I don't need to retain connection to the KSC. He'll just ensure that everything works well on the way. Because, you know, Jeb making sure things don't explode is exactly what happens. Okay, so here we are. Check my damn staging this time, because clearly I can't stage worth a damn. Okay. I just realized that the shadow of this rocket, and indeed the profile of this rocket, is a little bit inappropriate. But we're going to go ahead and launch anyway without acknowledging that at all. 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start our turny thing here. No, too much turny thing! I am reminded of a setting I need to change. Notice the very slight turning that I did caused the thing to explode. That is Ferrum Aerospace with the aerodynamic explosion thingy, and it's very sensitive. Like, even the slightest bit off, and the whole ship comes apart. much worse than vanilla game. So I need to turn that off. So if we go back to vehicle assembly. Also, I need to get fins on this thing, so I need to parse down the parts just a hair. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But I do need to exit to do the far setting. My music is going all quiet. Okay, so far. We need to turn off aerostructural failures. Because that causes way too many problems and it makes flights nearly impossible for me. I know some people can do it out there, no problem. But for me, not so much. So, let's... Yep, that's it. Hello, little geezer, welcome. Alright, so FAR's back off. I could probably do this without wings, but I kind of need them for stability. Oh, I'm almost out of drink and it's only been an hour. I'm gonna have to go get more. Alright, so parts, I'm at 30. The other possibility is not to remove these things. Like, don't decouple them, just leave them there. And I want to see what that leaves me with. As far as Delta V is concerned, let's do staging appropriately. Okay. So staging 2700, max out at 3300. So I do need to remove those, otherwise their aerodynamic failures are going to cause me problems. So fine, be that way. Coupling needs to stay in place. Alright, so if we do back to proper staging, 3,200 up to 4,000. So yes, that's much better. Much better. But that leaves me needing to remove 2 parts to make room for wings. Do I just need to cut off some science for now? Kind of don't like having to cut off science, but I kind of need to. What is my delta V with this? Delta V with this is 3,200. So that's pretty damn close. I really don't like that 30 part limit, especially with the early fuel tanks being so small. Makes it very difficult to accomplish anything. Can I do that button? I can do that button. I don't think that's appropriate. So, what other options do I have? I think the short answer out the gate is I don't have that many options. So tell you what, let's try to fly it without. And see if I can hold on to that stability long enough to get up into orbit. If not, it'll at least be amusing. Forgot to close the door. Okay. So we are going to 3, 2, 1, go. This thing tilted over ever so slightly. That is immediately too much. Which is a little bit odd. But seeing as how quickly they burnt out, I think I might just be able to go straight with them. Let's give that another shot. Alright, close the door again. Okay. So. 3, 2, 1, go. Straight up. No adjustments. Oh, jeez. Well then. For those things. And let's try... Hey, Foxem Gamer, how you doing? I have practically no control over this thing. That wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen at all. So clearly this didn't work well. Well, I think I need to sacrifice some of that science. As much as I don't want to, because I need those fins. They're important. Oh, it'll go fast. It'll go fast, no problem. It's going fast in the direction I want it to go is the problem. That's the biggest challenge of all. Okay, so let's remove that one, and that one, and remove the microwave and the cardboard box. So that's 4 science removed. As much as I hate doing that, being able to survive the trip is much more important than being able to get the science home in the process. Okay. That ain't right. Yes, I can go fast in that direction. I can go fast in that direction, whichever direction the game wants me to go into. So yes, I do need to control it, absolutely. Because without control, rockets go places that they shouldn't go. Oh, we're running out of juice. I don't like already being out of juice. Alright, so try that again, shall we? Hey, Vacuous B, how are you doing? So we're going up, we're going forward. We're going side to side a little bit. Try getting a little bit of a turn going. But there is very little control to let that happen, so no. Okay, so now we've got a gimbal, so now we have a little bit more control. Still not very much control, apparently. Okay. The amount of control on this thing is insanely bad, actually. Alright. Alright, Apple's at 80 something, so we're good there. Nice. A couple minutes off from Metal Gear is always an important thing. Make sure that you're balancing out your gaming needs. I understand that. Alright, so we are high up in the clouds. So now the challenge is circularizing this to an orbit. Not necessarily a challenge. It's not too terribly difficult, but I do have limited amounts of fuel, so I have to be careful. Because I need to be able to circularize as efficiently as possible and have enough fuel to come back down again. Batman's always a good choice. Okay, how are we doing with the circular? We're getting there. I think I need to stop pushing it so hard. Let it float a little. Trying to get my time to apoapse at about 20 to 30 seconds. Helps with the efficiency of the burn. Alright, so I've got a very low thrust going right now, keeping my time to apoapse at about 30 seconds, which is helping to circularize with minimal fuel. So keeping just ahead of that apple line. There's the beginning of my parry, which is good. And my time to apple is rising quickly, so even that tiny amount of thrust is enough to overdo it. So now I wait a little bit for closer to apple. I'm not going to the moon. This is a very early part of the game, so I am taking it easy. Just trying to get my first orbit. You talk funny, Mr. Kerbal. Alright, so we are in orbit. Perfect. It is indeed Kerbal Space Program. And we are now officially in orbit our first orbit for this career playthrough. Wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and open the Sciencey Bay and get some science happening. Perform all of the science. So we got 6 from the micrometeoroid, 5 from crew report, 6 from the sample box, 8 from temperature scan, and 12 from the pressure scan. Perfect. Hooray! Welcome, SGB. Welcome, Robert Keller. So, luckily, we do have enough fuel left to actually land this thing, because that's an important part of going to the orbit, is coming back again. So let's go ahead and rotate this thing around. Hello, Ninja Torak Gaming. How are you doing? Arxelis, you've been talking Yoda-ish lately. Has your brain gone into a stroke? Alright, so we are going to do a little hair retro burn here. Let me take a look at my... Yeah, a little bit of a retro burn. That's fine. That's fine. Alright. So we are doing fine. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing fine. The thing I need to keep an eye out is electric charge. I did not include anything to recharge on this, so I need to keep my electric charge in mind so I have enough juice left to launch the chute on my way back down. But flipping's good. Flipping's important. I am doing peachy fine, Ninja Torak. Except for the part where I'm out of liquids. I'm out of liquids. That's not good. But that's fine. Alright, so we're going to come back down. I may or may not have forgotten a critical component in the recovery of this vessel. And that is actually getting rid of all of the extra junk here. So we'll see if this works. So we're hitting 70, so the atmosphere is about to start taking effect. Really? What was it about the game that made you stop playing before you finished the tutorial? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I can understand there's a little bit of fiddly nonsense involved in making everything work right. Burn just a hair to get some energy back. Because that's all I got for energy production right now is my engine. I want to burn while I can. Ah. That is a much better reason than I didn't like it. So I'll accept that reason. NPR goes great with energy? What? I disbelieve that assumption. Energy, just burning retro a little bit to get some energy back. Oh, which mods am I using? Oh, the answer to that is a lot. However, that does remind me I forgot to start something. Alright, so if we do the lovely command of KSP mods, you will have my KSP mod list. Now, right now, the Excel sheet that's on there has all of the mods listed that I'm currently using, and I'm currently updating that a lot. The CCAN file that's on there is not up to date. That's my old mod list that has over 200 mods. I do not have heat shields, nor do I intend to have heat shields. Heat shields are not really necessary for slow re-entry burns like I'm doing. And on top of that, I didn't have the part count. That's the main problem. I didn't have the part count. Alright, so we are dropping slowly. I'm trying not to let this thing go nose down. Because nose down basically is going to turn this thing into a missile, and everyone's going to die. So that's a problem. I'm trying to get it slow enough that I can do the parachute, which will help keep the nose up. But for right now, well, shite. Good. Okay. So I had just enough emergency energy left. This thing's got a reserve power of 80. Enough emergency energy left to launch the chute at barely enough time. Because otherwise I was out of juice, so there was no more control on this thing. Well, that's not good, SGB. I would suggest, whenever you get a chance, play it again, at least for a little bit longer, just to see where you can take it. Because it's a lot of fun. And so we are slowly coming down. Yeah, so when the orbit that I just did, a very low orbit of 80, it doesn't bring you back in fast enough to cause those problems. If you were coming back straight from the moon, for example, yes, a heat shield would be much more required because you're coming in a lot faster. The other thing to note, I end up using my engines as a heat shield coming back in, because engines are built to produce fire. So they naturally have a lot of heat shielding to them and a lot of heat resistance. So if I don't have the part count for a heat shield, or if I forget one, all you have to do is make sure your engine is front and center when you're coming back in, and it will absorb a good chunk of the heat. And chances are it's never going to explode. And that's how I've always done it. So I rarely ever need heat shields. Oh, there is plenty of bombs to be had in KSP. A lot of explosions. A lot of kaboom. Fast forward this a little bit. Get it down some more. Alright, so we are quickly coming up on the ground. The last final hurdle is making sure this thing doesn't explode when it tips over, which it's gonna do. Haha! My stuff survived. I needed to stop rotating. Did we rotate? Ah, we rotated on to... Damn. The crew hatch. Onto the crew hatch. That makes it hard. I can't EVA from here. So, that's fine. We're recovering. I ploy it too. I also ploy it. So we have successfully orbited and returned from an orbit. It wasn't a perfect mission. I had problems. I had control problems. I had running out of energy problems. I had tipping over and falling on my face problems. But ultimately, we didn't die and we got stuff out of the deal, so yay. Okay, so we got 408,000 out of that mission. Or rather, 408,000 is my remaining total after succeeding the 2 missions that I got and all of that fun stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is increase my part count. Because quite frankly, the part count is a big problem. And my weight total. Because those things are very important. SGB, it will indeed kill the Kerbals. You can do unmanned drones. So if you play it sanely enough until you get unmanned drone parts, then you can make unmanned explosives if you'd like. No, so CCAN is the mod manager, basically. So with CCAN, it makes installing the mods very easy. All you have to do is check a box to say which mods you want, and hit the install button, and it puts them all where they need to go without any problems. The only problem that you need to keep in mind is what mods are compatible with your version. I am currently not doing the newest version of the game. 1.4 is the newest version with all the new parts and the new mission features and all that stuff, but so many of my mods were not compatible with the new version that I just had to leave it with 1.3.1 is the current version I'm playing. Alright, so this gives me an experiment storage kit, which I love, and a whole bunch of new experiments, which I also love. So we're researching that. Yeah, 1.3.1 is the version I have currently. Flight control. And so this gives me some wheels, which is kind of nice, but I think I need better rocketry. And this is also better rocketry, which is kind of nice. So many better parts available that I need. I think I need those wheels, though. It's absolutely terrible wheels for building a rover, but it's all I have access to currently. Oh, for me it is just about 10 p.m. So that puts you somewhere in Europe, probably UK or something like that, right? Alright, put it to a vote. Which one should I get? Should I get advanced rocketry with a couple additional engines and some better fuel tanks? Should I go with general construction, which has more launch clamps, as well as universal storage, which is nice, a couple antennas, other parts? Or should I go with aviation, which gives me wheels, plus the fairings? Or should I go with flight control, which gives me better mech jeb control, which is always nice, or better wings? Or should I go with enhanced survivability, which is just a safety light, life support, and a viewing cupola? I'm tended to vote against this one. What about the other ones? I got one vote for aviation. In fact, since I'm out of drink, and I want to get your guys' input, I'm going to go ahead and BRB. It'll be just a minute or so, and I'll check the reviews when I get back. So tell me which one I should get. BRB! Okay, I am back. So we've got 2 votes for aviation, which is the 3rd choice. And we have 1 vote for general construction, which is the 2nd choice. So I think that I do have to go with aviation, get them wheels. Because you make a very solid point, Ninja. Alright. So now we has wheels. Wheels is nice. Alright, so we have a mission open to explore the Mun. That's a little ways out from my taste. And here's where we can perform the experiments around KSC. So definitely need to do that. Grassland, Highlands, Shelf, Mountains, Desert, Water. Don't really want to do those. Ice caps. Okay, so this is the only one I would want to do right now, which gives me science around Kerbin. So we also have Kerbal Academy, which is advanced piloting. This is a new mission type that allows you to essentially pay money and train up one of your Kerbals. So now that Jeb's been up into orbit, I can take this mission and use Jeb to train one of my other pilots and give them experience. So that's nifty. I'm not going to do it right now, but nifty. Test parts. I want to do some parts on the launch site. And we've got in flight. So we got launch site, and we've got launch site. So we can only do 2 missions, so we're doing those 2 missions. It'll just be a quick little junk build to get a little bit of cash. I has blue drank this time. Unfortunately, I don't have any purple drank. It's sad. Very sad. Okay. So, we can junk this mess. I'll just keep my pod there. So, which parts are we testing? The swivel and the radial SRB. Okay, so both of those are engines. So we've got swivel, and we've got the radial SRB, which I think is under control. Where are you, radial SRB? Oh, it's one of these things. Okay, so we got the 06R radial SRB, which is this one. Strap it right there. We're going to drop all of the fuel so this thing doesn't go rocketing off into the distance. And then we're also going to grab it with that. This is the first stream you've watched live. Well, welcome. I'm happy to be your first. I do has blue drank. Blue drank is nice. So we're going to launch this. No fuel in either of those engines, just putting them on the launch pad to do a quick dry test, which will complete the missions. Ah, tastes like blue. Oh, hello, kitty. Oh, yes. Say hello to Grumpy Kitty. That's not her name, but she is Grumpy Kitty, so that is how I know her. She hates being held, as you can tell by the pointy toes sticking out there. Alright, so we are going to run test. Pop. And we are going to run test. Pop. And that completes both of those missions, so now we can just recover and be done with it. Hehe, Grumpy Cat. That is a good point, Ninja. And actually, that's not only a money-saving tip, but also a weight-saving tip. So, yes, absolutely. And I don't do RCS typically until a little bit later anyway. So I just need to keep remembering to remove that, which I don't always remember. Okay, so those missions are done. What else we got? Do we have more part testing? So the in-flights, I tend not to want to do the in-flights because they have specific altitude and speed requirements, which tend to make them really difficult. Especially when you have a limited amount of parts to actually achieve those different limits. The splashdowns are a little bit easier because you just basically shoot yourself at the water and then you're good to go. But we've got orbiting, in-flight, splashdown. Okay, so none of those are really worth doing right now. That's a little bit of an early mission to pop out. It wants a low-res ScanSat survey of Minmus. Alright. Well, A, I don't have ScanSat unlocked right now, and B, getting to Minmus in my current tech is probably not the easiest. Let's see. Flight report. Okay, so these are all crew reports in flight over certain areas. Hate doing those too, so not gonna do those. Wait, what was the last one? Yeah. White drink. Trying to think of other white drinks. I mean, we got milk, obviously, but there's also horchata. Horchata's a nice white drink. It's a spiced, I think it's milk based, but it's very nifty. All right, what do we got here? You has no drink. What? Alright, so we have kicking off space tourism. And let's see. They want an orbit above 75. And they want to stay up there for 4 hours. So, that's going to require a little bit more ship than I have currently, I think. Because I just don't have a spot to put a tourist currently. I have my one command pod. But I will come back to that, I think. Because space tourism makes for good cash income. So we have no missions really right now that I want to do other than experiments around KSC. So let's do that. Let's make a science truck. Let's go into spaceplane hangar for the science truck. Ooh, spaceplane hangar. I think that one is still on the limitation of parts. I'll have to check on that when I get in there. I might have to do this in the VAB instead. Limitation of parts. Yes, I have 30 part limitation. Get rid of all these. Those are missions done. Okay. So 30 part limit makes it not a great option for building a science truck. So let's... Is there a way to switch to VAB from in here? I thought there was. Rather than having to go out and then reload back in, do it in one load. I am not positive if there's a way to do that. Would be kind of nice if there was. Up by the crew button. I don't see anything up by the crew button. Oh god, SGB, your spelling's gotten even worse. It ain't up there. Airplane symbol. Yeah, it ain't up there. That could be a new feature, honestly, in the new version. Because it's never existed before, so if they added it in version 1.4, that might explain it. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I am actually surprised that my my Space Center hasn't broken yet. one of the mods that I'm using to make everything pretty, every once in a while rises the sea level above or almost near the top of the VAB. So all of the other buildings get buried. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but if it does, it'll be amusing, I'm sure. Just random global warming. I do love this song. This is Approaching Nirvana. Approaching Nirvana makes some good music. Let's jack that up just a little bit. Do some listening. Okay, so wheels. Wheels is all we has. Let's do a modular girder thingamabobber. Night, Top Gun. Thanks for sticking around. That doesn't like to stick very well. Oh, that'll be fine. Oh, these things are such a pain to build in the VAB. Such a pain. Let's see. Yes. That is how we wheel. Alright. So what about... I think it's that button? That is technically mirror symmetry, but not quite what I was looking for. Okay. So no symmetry. We're gonna have to do this the hard way. What? Took your 3DS. How dare she? Okay. Sure. That'll do. Alright, now this is going to be a little bit of a problem. How to do these wheels. Actually, hold up. Let me think about this. I think I might do the other wheels anyway, because those are the only ones that are powered. So what I think I might want to do is grab these. What? There we go. Okay, so I can remove this part. Come on, remove that part. Grab this part, flop it around. There we go. So now we can take these wheels and put them somewhat on the bottom. That's not how that works. But I want mirror symmetry. But it's doing radial automatically. Well, fine, be that way. I'll just have to put them down manually. Fine, be that way. Okay, so no... That's also not right. You are probably correct in that I should mirror the strut piece to get those. But these two were mirrored. But you know what? I don't want to screw with it. It's too much pain in the butt. So let's do that. There we go. It is going to be the jankiest little science truck that I've ever built, but it will go forward, hopefully. Alright, let's get some science strapped onto this bugger. Alright, so we've got some blood of the Kraken. We've got an eye of the Kraken. We also have skin sample of the Kraken. And then we have tentacle of the Kraken. Okay. We also have Scooty Puff Jr. here, which is going to be a little bit sizable, honestly. That is a little bit crookedy. Okay. Now, actually, I might have to skip the Science Junior for now, because it is a one-time use, and I don't really feel like getting my scientist out every 3 seconds to redo that. So I'm just going to go with the reusable science on the science truck for now. Oh, crap. It wants the plant growth study. Well, balls. Okay, I think I know where that one is. That one is in here. In this greenhouse. And I cannot put that anywhere, so that's where the greenhouse is going. We're going to rotate that a little bit. There. Oh, the science truck. Alright, so now we want the barometer on this side. Thermometer. I do want some experiment storage options. Meteoroid detector. The magnetometer boom can go right up at the back there. Microwave oven. Box. Other box. I don't even know if this one works, honestly. So we're going to put that, like, right there. I think this one only works in orbit of the sun, but I'm putting it there anyway. Okay. So I'm missing the Mystery Goo and missing the Science Junior. So that's fine for now. Sample box. Do we have sample box? Sample box, okay. So sample box and plant growth study are the only ones in this specific mission. But we're going to do as much of the science as we can. Because I really only do that once. Alright, now also I need electricity. I am specifically going to need solar. I don't know how much solar I need, so let's push this button. Power capacity 50, power drain is 0.76. Okay. So honestly, all I need is a couple of these solars. Wee stuck quacking. Nah, not there. Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? These wheels are actually rollable, or powered wheels. Yes, that's what I was talking about. So maybe I don't need to. That can be enough power. It might be enough power. Well, I don't know if that's enough power. Which one? The ampere one, or are you talking about the wheels? Oh, I'm just throwing a bunch of solars on here, because why not? There, solars, bunches of solars, and I do want to throw in a little bit more battery capacity. That's 45. That's 100. Yeah, let's just do a few of these. That's not what I wanted to duplicate. I want to duplicate the batteries. Why is those upside down? Okay, so really janky, absolutely 100% janky. Let's see if this works. These specific wheels, these are the steerable landing gear. They also do have an engine on them. Let me confirm that, because I may be going crazy. Landing gear, fixed, unpowered. Okay, so see here where on the wide ones, they say fixed, unpowered. Unpowered indicates that they can't go anywhere. They're just wheels. This one says steerable, no brakes, and if I remember right, that does mean that they have. Usually there would be energy. Yeah, an energy cost on there if they were motorized. So, you may be correct. You may indeed be correct. So let's do something quick here. Just gonna widen my stance just a hair. Well, those ones in the bottom aren't right. But yeah, I swear I remember those being powered, but you are probably right on that. So let me get rid of those solars in the bottom, because those aren't supposed to be there. I mean, at this point, I kind of want to test it just to see which one of us is right, because I just have terrible memory, so I don't count on me remembering anything correctly. So I'm going to add an engine, and then I'm also going to test it without the engine first. This is the worst idea ever. Maybe the jet engine would probably be a better idea due to the limited thrust. But you know what? Screw it. I can do that. Alright. We're going to do small, tiny fuel tank. Make sure we're going to move this around to here. Hey. Go there. Okay. Rocket science truck. Rocket science truck. Alright, we're going. I forgot to hit save, by the way. But that's okay. That is okay. Because if it doesn't work, I don't want to save it anyway. Release the Kraken, indeed. Also, by the way, I do have a bigger version, about as big as my head. Okay, so he's like smaller than my head, but still. But I can't fit him up there. I tried before, but he wouldn't stay up. So he just sits next to me. Okay. Science truck is bouncing. Stop bouncing, science truck. Ooh, those need to not. Steering direction inverted. Steering direction inverted. These can be steering off, actually. Okay, so they are not going forward. So I do believe you are correct in that regard. So let's do this. We're gonna thrust limit down to like 2. And we're going to very slowly thrust up. Very slowly thrust up. Okay. That is a little bit too little thrust. We're going to limit thrust to 50 for now. Let's see how that goes. Hey, you know what else helps? Activating the engine. Okay. Too much thrust! Oh dear. I didn't realize that was actually a hole. So, thrust. Push us out of this hole! Okay. We're going! We're going! We're going to perform all science. Okay, so the sun observation right now cannot be done. Meteoroid impact cannot be done. I missed the rest of those messages. So we're keeping all of these. And then we're going to collect in here. Hooray, science! Hooray, science! Oh, cats are silly. Alright. So, this is janky science truck, but science truck nonetheless. We do have brakes in this thing, right? We don't have brakes in this thing. I forgot to include wheels that have brakes. I can turn brake. Yes, that's how this works. I can turn brake. Can I turn brake enough to not explode on hitting this? Good. Okay. Alright, so one thing I wanted is this button. This button kind of shows me what science is available. So let's perform all science again. I'm gonna turn. I hope. Alright, so we're going to collect all. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to thrust ever so slightly. Aha! Okay, now we're going over here. Over here. Now there are more parts of this building. The VAB has like 3 parts, but I always have a hard time finding them. So I'm just going to go to the easy ones that I know how to find. Aha! So we are going to do more science here. It's got a surprisingly good turning circle, actually. And I am okay with that. Alright, so we're going to collect all this data. And then we're going to thrust a little bit more to get a little bit more speed. Gonna do all of the sciences again. Hey Flippy, how you doing? We're going to collect all. And then I need to do a very gentle bounce into this building because there's another one exactly touching that building. So I need to slow down drastically. I think 2 is a safe bouncing speed, maybe? Don't know for sure. Safe bouncing speed? Yay, safe bouncing speed. Alright. Yes, we are Kronken sciencing. Okay. So mission control, tracking station. So I'm at the tracking station. Why did it not count the plant growth study? Why is that? That is because the plant growth study is a one-time science. Fuck! Okay. That's fine. It's fine. I'll just have to do it again with multiple plant growth studies. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We are not stuck. I can unstick myself. It's just at 0.2 meters per second. That's all there is to it. Go straight. Go straight. If you're talking about the one that's on my head, I actually got this from a convention. So I only know about getting it from the booth. But what I will do is I will look up the tag and tell you what it's called. It's called Squibs. SquidKidsInc.com. Or SquidKidsync.com if you prefer. Feel free to try, see if they have them still. This was multiple years ago, so I have no idea if they're still doing their thing. Can you go? Can you make it? Can you make? Oh, you can't make it. Frackin' brilliant. You can't make it. Can't make it up a small hill. Alright. Yay, more science. We're going to collect that. We're going to have a lot of science out of this, by the way. It's going to be at least a few hundred. So this little batch of nonsense will definitely get me a pretty significant amount of tech to be able to do better things very soon here. So while this is incredibly silly, it is also incredibly useful. Alright, so now we got another batch right here. Perform all of the science, please. Collect all of the science, please. Yeah, because we have 85 stored data right now. And even at 1 science per, that is 85 science, which is more than I've collected up until this point. So. Oh, just don't have the time. I know that pain all too well. I pretty much am currently dedicating most of my free time to streaming. I actually had to slow down because I was streaming every single day, and it was driving me nuts. Like, I started running out of games to play. I started, you know, not wanting to stream, so I had to slow it down a little bit. And we're just doing that a little bit. Perform all of the science again, because the flagpole is its own science area. So currently I mostly just stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a couple friends, and then every once in a while I will pop on a stream like this once I get the encouragement to actually do a stream of some kind. I would like to get back to doing a more regular schedule more often, but I want to have more of a plan about what I'm going to do. Kerbals was stopping me, because I had done Kerbals almost every day. But once my game crashed from too many mods, I had to find a different answer. And I started streaming, like, I did Slime Rancher, I did Subnautica, I did a little bit of survival-ish games, or not survival-ish games, but colony management games like RimWorld and Oxygen Not Included and some other stuff like that. But turns out I suck at those games, so kind of trying to avoid them a little bit. Performing all science again. Why did that not work? Collect all? Ah, because I forgot to collect all. Oh, we have other kitty. We have needy kitty. Hold on. Let me get pointed in the right direction. I'll grab needy kitty. Alright, so we're gonna go straight across here, I think. Come here, needy kitty. This is the needy/whiny kitty, because he wants all of his attention. And he makes loud noises until he gets his attention. Oof. Ooh, that's a hazardous little tip. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I've restarted a couple times, actually. This is my 3rd restart. The first time I did pure vanilla, because my friend who got me this game and encouraged me to play it insisted that I play vanilla all the way through first. So I did vanilla, and I did it to a point where I was ready to start going to Duna, when I started really getting itchy to play mods. And my friend said, you know, I played enough that I know the gist of it, enough that he would allow me to play mods. So then I did that playthrough for quite a while until some of my mods started having problems and everything went to hell and the game stopped functioning. So this is my 3rd attempt. Alright, we're gonna keep all of these. And we're gonna collect all that. Now I need to go back this way to the VAB, or to SPH. So we're gonna go this way. Do all those sciences again. Alright, and then I think I can just bounce into the front door of the spaceplane hangar to get another set. I think, not positive. Oh, you're gonna make me convert to GMT. Oh, roughly 2:30 GMT? 2:30 AM GMT. Pretty sure that is the right answer. Huzzah! Cat acquisition success! Wait, hold up. Hold up. I need to do GMT conversion. Hold up. So it is currently 3:30 AM GMT. So I started 2 hours ago, so 1:30 AM GMT, and I typically end You're making me math. Thinking too hard. Usually about 12:30 AM my time. So roughly 5:30 AM GMT. So I know I'm not exactly the best streamer for someone who's based in the UK, unless you're a serious night owl. But, you know. Alright, so we have collected all of this data. Do a little bit of a burn to give this away, and I just need to hit the mission control for my last collection. There are more to collect, by the way. I just haven't done them all because it's kind of a pain to do them all, honestly. Yeah, usually my stream is about 4 hours, so 1:30 to 5:30 roughly would be my time. Of course, until daylight savings kicks in which case it's going to be a different answer. Because daylight savings is different. Aw, waking up because of pain's no good. Hope you were able to take some meds. Alright, so we are going to collect all. I have 156 points of data in here. And those are going to range from like 1 to 3 or 4 science, maybe. So, whole boatload of science is going to happen as soon as I collect this thing. So, say goodbye to science truck, we're collecting it. I just need to actually slow down and stop this damn thing. Because I can't collect the vehicle until it's at a stop. So I'm going to run myself into the mission building as an appropriate end. And bounce. Yay, recover vessel. Well, as long as you have a light at the end of the tunnel. Not one that you have to go to, but one that you can see coming as the time will be better. That's tolerable. Sucks that you're in pain. Sucks that painkillers don't really work, but at least you know it's going to end soon, so that's all that matters. Are you able to do things like ice or heat? Depending on what the pain is. We got 410 science from that mess. 410 science. I'll accept it. Hooray! Trying to make a me. Oh, those me's. Alright. So, now we can buy things. I'm going to get advanced rocketry, because that's nice. I don't need this at the moment, I don't think. Landing would be nice for better wheels. However, this landing does not contain good wheels. What other stuff do we have? Subsonic flight, fuel systems, space exploration. Space exploration has Rovermax wheels. So we're going to do that one, because it also contains science, which is also nifty. So yes, we're going to do that one. Well, that is good. The hard part is over, and now you're coasting to the finish. That's good. That is very good. Alright, so space exploration got me wheels, which is nice. Miniaturization, I don't think I need. Although having some docking ports to work with might be okay. Electrics would be nice. Because this gives me a little bit of better solar options, as well as all of the lighting options. So making things pretty and glowy, kind of nice. Recycling options can be saved for later. Storage can be saved for later. Yeah, solar is definitely useful, so I'm going to go with that. I think the other thing I need to go for is fuel and probably heavy rocketry. Because that will get me going further, faster, harder, better, faster, stronger, etc. So, rockets and fuel. Cats are a liquid, so it makes sense that a cat would melt. Alright, so I have 14 science left, so not enough to do anything useful. But we got some stuff. Yay! Yay! Okay. So, I'm not going to look at this anymore because I can't do anything with it. Let's see. I can't upgrade that for better parts, so I still have to build in the VAB, which is obnoxious. I kind of wanted to build another science truck to complete the mission that I've got available currently. I do not have a comm set yet. That's definitely something I could do. Yeah, I could definitely do a low end or a low orbit comm set for sure. Could also probably do space tourism now. That's probably a good idea to do a comm set. I also want to do space tourism. So we're going to do non-mission ComSat and mission space tourism. Not at the same time, of course. Although I may be able to piggyback a ComSat. So one thing I have on here for a mod is remote tech. So ComSat is actually harder than base game. Because with ComSat and base game, you just need one. And it can transmit through planets and at pretty great distance. With remote tech, what it did is it makes it so you cannot transmit through a planet or other body. So if I'm going to do a ComSat, it's going to have to be a ComSat array. There's going to have to be multiple of them to make it work. So that's one thing I have to plan out. I don't know how to make it work yet, but I gotta. Alright, so science truck can go away. We're going to make a new one. So let's do ComSat. And we're going to do an octo, because I like octos. And for communications, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it as small and compact as I can. Because I'm going to have to do a lot of them. So this is a 1.5 megameter, this is a 3 megameter, and I also have dishes to worry about. Now I don't think I want dishes on my initial ComSat, I just want them to be omnis. This is the one that I typically use because it's got 10 megameters, so it's got hella range, and it's small and compact. It doesn't really, it doesn't do this kind of stuff for deploying and whatnot. Whereas it just looks like this. So as far as small and compact is concerned, this is the way to go, but it doesn't always look that neat, so I'm not sure I want to go that route. I personally like this one. the helical. Ah, that's weird. Kind of decided to go inside of it. There we go. The helical's nifty, just because it is constantly spinning and looks kind of cool. So maybe that will come later. Let's see what we got for power. Rechargeable battery bank. So these are 0.3, these are 0.3. And these have tracking speed. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to use the flat solars. Instead, I'm going to use these. And those are going to extend out to look like so. Because these will track the sun. So that's kind of my main point. Otherwise, I think that's all I really need to worry about. Unless I want to go with some more battery power. But I've got this, which has 200 charge. Should be good. Should be good. But we'll have to check on Ampere once we get the comm in place. So which comm am I using? Honestly, I could do something like a Communitron, not have to worry too much about it. I could go with these. Could do something like that. Just look kind of neat. I could also do something like these, and then I would do that perhaps. Oh, I have to deploy them one at a bloody time. I want to see what it looks like, but I don't want to do them all one at a time. Can I do this? There we go. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So I could do something like this, or I could slim it down a little bit to like 4, and maybe put them more centralized. Or I could just keep it incredibly compact and just go with this thing in the middle. Just not going to look as neat. And I guess in terms of compact, I could definitely do the other solars as well. So it kind of depends on how I want to tackle that. There's really not much battery on there. Okay. I also want to look at this, because this is the dark side calculation. And this calculation tells me if it has enough power to survive a dark side trip around the planet. So total stored is 210, and it looks like I need 824 to survive a trip around the dark side. So technically it doesn't have enough to survive a trip around the dark side currently. Why are these not counting for power production? Oh, that's why. Because they don't. They turn off if you're doing the dark side calculation. Okay, so the other possibility is if I go with the smaller antenna that has a lower drain, then I need less energy. So this has a drain of 1.4 per second, and this only has 0.2 per second. So if we swap this out, it's pretty much just as compact, but requires significantly less energy. So then if we go here and do the dark side calculation, we only need 98 to survive a trip around the planet. So we have more than enough power now. So maybe that's the best answer. Stick it in a polar orbit. Well, so that's the thing with these these tiny little comsats is we're actually going to need a lot of them. If I'm doing a low orbit satellite array, I'm going to need probably a dozen of them, if not more. So there probably will be some in polar orbit for sure. Let me grab this. And put that down a hair. Okay. Now, if I leave this as is without any control, I will have to place it with the ship that I'm sending it. Otherwise, I could do something like a small tank. So something that's not a small tank at all. That's not a small tank in the least. That's also not a small... I don't have small tanks currently, do I? That's unfortunate. I don't have small tanks, nor do I have small engines. And I don't have any RCS yet. Okay. Interesting. Interestinger and interestinger. Okay. Shadow and socks. I love it. Yeah, mine is pure black, and then the other one is brown and brown, I guess, stripes and spots. She's a Bengal, like a purebred Bengal. The other one is just a black cat. just a black cat. Okay. So one thing I want to see, if possible, is could I do something like a radial coupler to connect multiple of them? Ah, even better. I have this option. Black cats are definitely troublemakers. I have not seen one that isn't a troublemaker. Alright, so I'm going to save this tiny little satellite as a subassembly. Tiny comsat. Oh, Biscuit, Maisie, and Spot. I like those two. Alright, so I'm gonna ditch this and I'll put the fairing base on there. And I'm gonna do couplings. Force percent 5, I think. So what if I did 4 of them? Get some sort of collection going. So this is a special fairing from a mod called Procedural Fairings, and it basically lets you put whatever you want in here and it will just make fairings to fit it automatically. So it's kind of handy to have around. And then you just put this on and suddenly you've got your fairings. So this is going to be the phallic-shaped object that we are putting up into space. Now we need to figure out how to get it up there. Let's see. I think I need to command pod this, honestly. Because I don't think I have enough aerial control to do it with the drone. Unless I figure out a way to do that. Might be able to find a way. So what if I take this, pop that right down there, make sure that is deployed. Actually, I need to deploy all of these. Aw. Tiny went missing. That's sad. Alright, we're gonna put... We're gonna try this. Just to see if this works. Alright, so we're going to engine the heck out of this thing. I honestly don't know how much power I'll need for this mess, but we'll see. So, swivel, reliant. No, what I actually want is, I want the Terrier here. And that's going to be plenty of Delta V to get this thing moving around. Okay. In fact, that's probably too much, honestly. Let's drop this down a hair. Let's reliant that. Doing my staging where I can. Okay. So we've got so much words. Aw, poor kitty. You're making me sad. Quit with the sad kitty stories. Sad kitty stories are sad. So let's try a swivel. It says a little bit less Delta V, but that's probably for the better. So what I want is this. I'm going to want another set of these. And some reliance on the bottom. Okay. Yes, kitty. We're gonna do some really janky asparagus staging. Yes, kid. Yes, and okay. Oh, there we go. Cat. Of course, Harley and Quinn. Of course it matters. Yay, happy, healthy kittens. Okay. So, I'm going to do some asparagus staging, which means I need to do my actual staging. So these ones need to go first. Oh, I need to look at them like this, I think. Okay, so that one, and not that one. Not that one. So those get cut first. These get cut second. Okay, it's good, it's good. And we want some aerodynamic coney things on these. Alright. I don't even know what words those are. Like, not a clue. I'm going to do that and hope that that doesn't cause problems. No, not that. I want these. Alright, so we've got our first 4 engines going. And we've got dropping the side 2, and then we've got dropping the other 2, including starting the next engine set. Then we've got this stage, the 3rd stage, I guess. We've got cracking open the whatchamacallit, and then we have all of these, which I'm gonna do manually, so they're just at the top. So I think we're good. I've never heard of a snuttermato. That just sounds really weird. But yes, I know what ketchup is. I wasn't entirely born under a rock, but, you know. So I want structural. I guess this is going to hold this. Sure. Let's be released first. Okay. So we're good as far as thrust to weight and all of that fun stuff. We have 6 frickin' thousand delta V by the time I'm done with this thing. I did not intend to over-engineer this as much as I did. But it's happening. So, launch? The only thing that I'm missing is control. Because I've got my drone core, I've got the antenna, but as soon as I launch the damn thing, I'm going to go around the curve of the planet and I'm going to lose connection. So I don't know. It does look a bit like an ICBM. So the part that I'm missing is how do I get this thing up into orbit and get all those launched. I think I do have to have manual control. So I'm going to pop this off and go with the command pod. It's going to look weird, but it'll work. I do need to do a decouple then so that this thing can come back down again. And then do some radial parachutes, just to make sure that everything survives. Speaking of surviving, I want to try the real chutes. I want to see if I can get some of these stages recovered. Because I do have a mod called Stage Recovery, and it'll take side boosters like this, and it will attempt to recover them automatically using whatever parachutes are on board, without you having to think about it. So I'm going to do that, and see if it works. Because I did a lot of stage recovery in my last run through, but it can get really pricey sometimes. Because sometimes it'll take a dozen or two parachutes per booster to get it working if they're bigger. And it can get really part heavy. So I'm not going to focus nearly as much on it in this run, but early cache is important. So we're going to try it. So we got manual control now. We got Jeb in the cockpit. Gonna try to launch it, I think. Gonna check to make sure I'm not missing anything. I've got my satellites, I've got manual control, I've got parachutes, I've got return parachutes, I've got all this fun stuff. Blue drink. Alright, so I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to push the launch button, and then I'm going to BRB, get more drank. So, loading time and all that. So, launch and BRB! I have returned! With orange drink this time, which is as close to Tang as I've got, which is the drink of the astronauts. Ah, orange drink. Orange drink. Alright, so we're gonna launch this thing, and then figure out how to do the satellites. Normally you would figure that thing out before you launch, but I'm gonna wing it. Because that's how we true astronauts do it. Wing it. Alright, 3, 2, 1, fucking go! That was almost a hazard, because I forgot to throttle up. May still be a problem. Definitely a problem. You know what? You know what? Because I screwed that up so badly, we're gonna watch this thing fail. I do not have... Well, I could mix my indigo and my orange drink to make indigo orange drink, but... probably not a good idea. Launch the rockets! Make them go! Oops! It did the boom. Oh hey look, those are sturdy little satellites. 3 of the 4 survived. Oops! I made a big boom. Okay, now we're gonna revert that to launch and try again, this time not sucking. Okay. Ah, what happened? What's wrong? So I've got the release and I've got the go. I've got drop the 2 sides. I've got drop the other 2 sides with starting the middle stage. Then I've got releasing the 3rd stage and starting up that. And then I've got that needs to go away. That needs to go away for last. Forgot about that. That needs to go away for last. You are correct. I did fail some of my staging. Alright, so the parachutes here, the ones that are on the boosters, that actually is intentional. I'm intentionally launching all 4 of them at the same time, but when I don't suck at flying, by the time I get ready to launch these 2 side boosters and trigger all 4 parachutes, I will be going too fast for them to actually kick off. So the only ones that will actually go are the ones that I release. The other 2 will be active, but they will not be launching until I release the other 2. So I've done this before many times. I know that part works. It just didn't work when I failed the flying because I was technically going too slow, so the parachutes actually kicked off. So we're good. Don't worry about it. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! Yay, go! Alright, so we're going about 100, so we're going to try to start turning a little bit. Not too much. Not too much, I says. No! Alright, so the control on this thing is a little iffy. What I might do is I might swap out the back thrusters for gimbal. A little bit less thrust, but actual control would be kind of nice. 3, 2, 1, go! Go! I'm gonna keep launching all of it. You go! And you go! And then you go! All of those things. Yep. My satellites are all going now. Wait, are the satellites not letting go? Good thing I tested that. So those things are attached to those nodes instead of... Okay, so I need to revert to vehicle assembly. Good thing I tested that. Yeah, I'm a Kerbal, didn't you know? Alright, so we're going to remove that, and then what I have to do is... I have to remove all of these things. Okay. So, let's do... Save that quick. New... I need to go into my sub-assemblies, grab one of these, and I need to do the coupling here. Okay, now that I've got the coupling here, then I can do that. Alright, now we open up the ComSat. All of this needs to be removed. Come on. No, not the battery. Don't leave the battery behind. Silly little bugger. I am Kerbalian. I had a little bit of reconstructive dye surgery to change my color to a proper humanoid so I can blend in. It's important to look like you blend in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now those should decouple properly. Should. I'm gonna go ahead and do my staging again. So we've got the brake, we've got the fire. Ah, yes. I need to take these off and gimbal them. Does that have enough go power? That should have enough go power. Alright, so break off those two, go break off those two, go break off that. This needs to be its own separate thingy. Fire up. Okay. So now... Oh, I lost my fairing. There we go. Okay. We're gonna save that, and we're gonna launch it. And should test it, shouldn't I? Alright. We'll test it first. I'm going to launch it, and I'm just going to decouple one of those things. So, test it. All we have to do is decouple one of these things. And there it goes. Yep. Poot. Well, that one somehow survived, partially. Okay. Come on. Okay. Test the last one just to make sure, because why not test them all at the same time? That one went that direction. Haha! But that does remind me that I need to drop the power on those decouplers. I don't want them to be 100, because those, as you can see, they just kind of bounce it off and launch it everywhere. So I do need to revert one more time and drop the power on those. Yes. Explosions for success are good explosions. Alright, so force percent down to 5. Okay. Now I just need to put on my cone again. And then we are good to launch. Save. Launch. Everything good? Everything good? Check in, check in, check in. Check in, check in, check in, check in. Yes, we're good. What the devil, YouTube? What the devil? Stop being broken, YouTube. You've made it butt brutal? Well, that's terrifying. So are you going like the George R. R. Martin school of writing? Take every character that everyone ever falls in love with and murder them horribly? Because that's not very nice. Alright, so we're good to go, we're good to go. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, go! Yay, go! Okay, so now we're going to start our angle just a hair. Oh, that's tough. Okay. What? What? Where? But where are you going that way? Don't go that way. Sigh. If you need to go to sleep, SGB, you certainly can. I am not going to stop you. I mean, I probably could have recovered this, but more frustrating than anything. Okay, you go. Uh-oh. 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 Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. This went well. This went well indeed. Hello to other random people watching. Balls. Ah! Sort of. They sort of survived. Sort of. All right. We're gonna try that again. Hopefully suck less this time. Be nice. Okay. That was a trippy sky for a moment there. Alright. So, can we not suck on this launch, please? Would be nice. Okay. We're gonna cut that out. Don't need that right now. Turn ever so slightly that direction. I'm gonna try to maintain control. Try to maintain control. And this is with SAS supposedly helping. Supposedly. No! No! Don't go places! Hate you all. Why are you being such a dick? But that's the thing, is I shouldn't need RCS. This should not require RCS. So I know part of what's happening is these things. This whole massive fairing is causing problems aerodynamically, and yeah, it's definitely causing large amounts of grief. Whoops. Those things are trapped inside, technically. I'm gonna try to spin them out. There we go. There's some. There we go. Satellites launched! Success! Yeah, I wonder if shortening it one more would be enough. Alright, alright. Raining down the doom. Doom. Hey, this part's still alive. Okay. So we're going to revert to vehicle assembly. Let's see if we can make this thing work. Pain in my ass. Okay, let's try to pare these down a little. Maybe it's enough?
Got a little Swedish there.
Yeah. A little bit tinier. The load times are getting longer. And that is one of the challenges of playing this game for longer periods of time, is that the coding on the game is not the hottest, and it does cause some problems over time. I did not remove the monoprop. It's not a huge concern for me. It is only 10 monoprop. But yeah, I do need to start remembering to change that. Okay, so we're throttling up, we're sassing, and we're going. It's not gonna start turning until a little bit later now, I think. A little bit later. That thing really does want to be unwieldy, doesn't it? Really, truly wants to be unwieldy. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Fuck you! Alright, so not gonna turn right away, because that's causing me problems. I don't remember far being that difficult with the early turning, but I'm gonna have to compensate for that mentally. Okay. Aw, cat left you. Well, that means you have the use of your legs again, though. That's nice. Alright. Sass, throttle up, go! Not turning this time. At least not right away. Gonna turn a lot later. Just go straight. That's all I need from you. Just go straight. I'm gonna wait till I'm at 5,000 meters. Maybe that'll help. By then I might be going too fast to get a decent turn out of it, but we'll see. It is easy to forget you have legs when a cat has taken over. Alright, so we're at 5,000. I'm going to try to turn. Now is a good time to turn. No, now is not a good time to turn. There is no good time to turn with this thing. That is bullshit. Okay. So if there's no good time to turn, I'm just gonna have to go straight until a long time? That's really weird. I don't remember having this much problem. Maybe Ferrum Aerospace changed their modeling? Yeah, same thing. Russia, rocket, you know, whatever. Yes, Mr. Cat. Hello. How are you? Okay, throttle. Throttle. There we go. Okay. Cat time. Hello, cats. How are you, cats? Okay. Cat's done with me now. Oh, you're DZI. Hey, how you doing? Long time no see. Or shall I call you Bojo Vlogs now? I really want to start turning, but why? Why? Why are you so terrible? I wish I knew why it was so terrible. Fine, we're going this way now. I'm just gonna see if going this way helps at all. Alright, SGP, thanks for following. Have yourself a great night. Thanks for stopping by. You guys go away. Rocket. Rocket, quit being a dick. I swear, quit being a dick, Rocket. I know of Fortnite, but I don't play it. Not a huge fan of the Battle Royale method. Rocket's being a jerk. I don't appreciate it. Alright, so we are going to throw these things up. This away. We're going to throw these things down. Quite a ways. Alright, let's see how that does. Yeah, everything else is good. Let's go. Let's do the thing. I've had problems with having my thrust too far down. Because ultimately what you're doing is you're changing where the pivot point is. And having the thrusters further up actually helps with the pivot point on a rocket like this, where the nose is so much of the lifting area. Because all of the fairing on here counts as lifting area. So it's catching the wind. And if these boosters were down where they were before, the pivot point ends up being like right here. Whereas now the pivot point is a little bit higher, and it gives a little bit more control from what I've had experience previously, if it works, and if Ferrum isn't causing me problems. So we're going to try it again. We're going to go. Go, do thing, go. I am nowhere near doing it yet. I'm literally just starting off this career mode, so I haven't even hit Minor Minimus yet. I'm still trying to get ComSat into space. I'm just going to test the turn on this to see if it can be turned a little bit. That's a little bit better. For now, a little bit better. Those two. That is much better. A little bit of wobbly because the fins I'm using have a little bit too much control on them. But that's okay. Wobble's fine. Wobble's better than flipping. Oh, there goes the flip. I turned it too hard. So it was much better, just not quite great yet. So let's do this. See if we can do any sort of recovering. We go away. This is not going according to plan. We'll see what we can do. Alright. It is a quarter to midnight here for me. Alright, so I'm going to let that coast a little bit. We are indeed all over the dang place. But that's what the internet's great for, bringing together an international community. You mean my Kraken? He's just my little Kraken buddy. What are you talking about? This is gonna be perfect. This is working just fine. This is working fine. No, it's not. Alright. Gonna go push that button. That button. And then we're going to set off a whole bunch of fireworks. Okay. So that went better. And the only failing point was I tried to turn it too hard. So, gonna try to turn it less hard this time. Nope, no cheats. Do need to adjust this though. So I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. Okay. We're going! I mean, I could do one less comsat. I could be doing this in, you know, one comsat per launch. But it'd be really nice to be able to do multiple of them in one launch. Because frankly, I'm going to need like a dozen up there, not more. So I need to turn less hard and less often. I'm going to do this in small increments here. Not a small increment. Why are you not doing smaller increments? Alrighty, Bojo, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Bye. Okay. So we are in somewhat of a sane orbit, or not an orbit, but at least a sane vector to get into an orbit, which is nice. Slowly rotate this away. And we're at 60, so we're fine. Jettison that. Jettison that. Okay. So, what we got here is we have an APO of just about 90. What I might need to do is raise that more, but I'm going to worry about getting my orbit in place first. I would have liked to have had a little bit of a shallower ascent, but, you know, that was clearly not happening. Okay. So you're killing him, but potentially not entirely leaving him out of the story. Ghost or something like that. I can see that. Definitely building our orbits. It's nice. Alright, so I need to do that. Okay, so we were ever so slowly thrusting, tiny little bits of thrust going there to build out our thingy. There we go. Okay. Heart Robot definitely brings an interesting twist to it. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
An odd song. Kinda dig it. Very slowly building up this orbit. Alright, so this orbit is 93 and 75-ish. So what I want to do is I want to stop it at 80. Okay. So 80 is now my periapsis, which is nice. 90 something is my apo. So what I then need is I need information. What information do I have? Orbit info. Okay. So I've got an orbital period of 31 minutes and 40 something seconds. I have written stories before. I did quite a few way back in high school, so unfortunately that was ages ago at this point. But yeah, at that point I wrote a good dozen or two stories, I think. But I haven't really written much since then. It's not for lack of wanting to, just it's not a priority for me. Alright, so what I'm trying to figure out is how to get these into some sort of synchronous orbit. Because I can't just release them right now because they're all just going to be bunched up together. I have to extend out my orbit a little bit and release them in some sort of differing orbit thing. How long are they? How long are the stories? So let's warp this guy here. Can I not warp? Oh, I can't warp that way. Okay. Good to know. So I have to warp this way. What? Out of electric charge? Jacob, what? How am I out of electric charge? What the crap? Do these not get any sun? They are not getting any sun currently. Well, balls. Okay. So I have to wait. Ah, 26 pages in 5 days. It's pretty impressive. So I have a problem. I have a little bit of a problem. I did not account for the orientation not allowing these things to charge solar panels. So what I need to do instead is solar probably this thing. Because of the angle, these solar panels are currently being blocked by this decoupler. So the angle is stopping them from actually getting any sun. Even though it looks like there's sun touching them because of the shadows, these are technically a solid object, so they're blocking all the sun. So, due to that funky angle and the way that this is currently, there's no sun that they can reach. And since I don't have enough control of my ship, I can't orient them to actually give power. Aha! I could. Aha! I have ways. Okay, so now we're getting sun. I thought I was going to have to revert that, but I had enough power, or I had enough control to start up the engines, which gave it enough power to boost it, to rotate, and we're good to go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that, and I think this direction. There we go. I do have a ceiling fan, actually. That is what that is, up that direction. Was it the shadow that you were looking at? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to... Right now, I'm going to do these in a funky pattern. Activate. 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 Okay. I'm going to do these in a funky pattern because, quite frankly, I don't have the juice to actually do this appropriately. Welcome back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to which direction am I going? I'm going that way. Oh, we've got that problem. That's lovely. Okay. So that little flashing thingy on the right-hand side, that is an issue with Scatterer, I believe. And it causes some funky issues with things at times. Let's do this. I'm just creating a funky orbit, basically, for all of my satellites. It's not going to be good, it's not going to be effective, it's not going to be useful, but it will be a thing, for sure. And I ran out of electricity again. Awesome. Yeah, uploading videos can be quite a pain if your network isn't like ridiculously fast. I wouldn't say mine is ridiculously fast, but it is pretty good, and it does take for bloody ever. Alright, what I want to do here... I want to see... Yay, breakfast! Let's do this, see if I can... There we go. What's for breakfast? So this satellite's going to go ahead and go here. Couple that bugger. Come on, get out of my way. Get out of my way. You're not getting out of my way. Why aren't you getting out of my way? Let's do this. See if I can... I don't know if I know what that is, honestly. Drinky drink. Alright, so why can I not lose that thing? I mean, I know why I can't lose that thing, but why can't I lose that thing? Make it go away. Make it go away. Yeah, that probably would help. Oh, okay. Those are commonly known as checks here. I didn't even know they had another name. Hooray! There we go. I was trying to lose it, but it wasn't working very well. Okay. So now I can go down. So I have satellites in a really shitty orbit. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That'll get me at least some method of communicating on different parts of the planet, or different parts of the orbit of the planet, which will then help me get better communication later. It's absolutely nothing. They're gonna get scrapped at some point, but there'll be something for now. So that's a good start. At least I have them, indeed. Right, so I need to push that button. Alright. So what I need to do is I need to keep a very light throttle the whole time. Because I need to be able to retain prograde as long as possible with a little bit of energy so I can actually launch my parachutes. Ah, yes, that saying. That saying. I had a discussion about that saying. We would say every little bit helps, and the fact that you're missing that little bit word has confused the heck out of me and all of my US brethren. Okay, so we are going... What I actually might want to do, see if I can do this. That antenna might be causing me too much energy drain. Yeah, I know that's a slogan somewhere in UK. But the fact that it's a slogan, also kind of like a common saying, confused us. Because we would have the extra word in there that makes it a little bit less confusing for us. Okay, so let's cut that. Fast forward down a hair. Yay, less fire. I don't normally say yay, less fire, but in this case, yay, less fire. Alright, so we are descending, we are slowing. I am going to throttle a hair, see if we can get some control. Can we get a little bit more control, please? I've been doing this for about 6 months, something like that. Hard to say for sure, but it has been a while. Alright. That is a really weird angle with the extra crap on top. That's okay. All the extra crap on top is only going to be padding. Now we're going to fast forward our way down because I have no control at this point. It's in the hands of the Kraken. Hooray! Probably. I don't know. Maybe 80 something? I got a good chunk of my subs right away. So part of it is that I stream to Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube all at the same time. So sometimes if I got a follower on Mixer, for example, they might find me on YouTube as well and follow me there. So that has helped a little bit because it's spread the love a little. But also I had quite a handful of videos prior to even starting streaming. So I had like 15 subs before I even started streaming. So that the streaming has definitely been where almost all of my subs have been. Just posting videos hasn't been enough to get any sort of following. Alright, so we have successfully landed after putting up our satellite constellation. I put that in huge air quotes because it is not a good constellation, nor are they good satellites, but it is a thing. I should have done a crew report in AVA there, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll survive. Finish loading. Finish loading. Okay. So, we did get 1.7 science from returning a vessel from Kerbin orbit, which is, sure, why not, free science. So, let's go look at a tracking station, see what those things are looking like now. Okay, so we have 3 satellites in really awkward ring shapes of different sizes. Now, most of that was me just haphazardly putting them around, but also the 3 different sizes I knew would leave them with 3 different orbital periods. So over time they're going to converge and then spread apart again, so at least they will remain relatively separate. Which will help at least spread the connectivity around a little bit. It's not good by any means, but it's something. So I'm going to go with it. So with that, I am going to call it a night. It is midnight here, and I do need to actually work tomorrow. So that being said, tomorrow night is going to be 7 Days to Die with my buddies Bart and Blade. So that's assuming Bart feels better. He didn't feel good enough to stream last night, so we'll see. But probably. If not, I don't know when my next stream will be otherwise. I'm still trying to get back into the swing of it again, so we'll see. So, Ninja, thank you for stopping by. Anyone else who may actually be paying attention, thank you as well. Thanks for any subs and follows I might have missed. I don't always see them come through. And you all have yourselves a good night / day / whatever. Next KSP? I don't know yet. I might shoot for Friday, which would be Saturday morning for you. So we'll see. So yeah, have yourselves a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.